The room talks about some of their favorite movies from the year.
From this year?
From this year.
Oh.
And I know Matt's in here, and Matt sees a lot of movies. So
I still haven't seen the new Blade Runner.
Yeah, me neither.
You really need to. You need to
Yeah.
before it leaves theaters.
I know.
It's
All
right.
leaving soon.
I'm gonna get in an argument with Matt over this. The new Thor is probably one of my favorite MCU movies, of like top 3 of all time.
Yeah, you said that, and you know what? This is one of those ones where I can totally understand why, but it didn't work for me at all.
It totally worked for me.
Yeah, like I
still actually haven't seen it
I
yet.
did go in D-Box, and I was not entirely sober, but it was perfect.
Yeah,
I
like-
only saw like a little bit of the trailers for it, and then I saw Kate Blanchett, and I was like, I should watch this movie.
Yeah.
like it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it has.
Like,
I love its
is-
aesthetic.
The aesthetic is
Yeah.
is probably the most like visually interesting.
Some folks
Marvel
called
movie
it
to
as
date.
Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah.
which is kind of great.
Like it is gorgeous. The action scenes either look like a painting or
Yep.
look like a Jack Kirby drawing, which is the idea.
What?
Did you see the article
but-
about how they did the like it was like the sped up lighting, but also making it into slow motion at the same time?
Oh no!
Oh,
I need
there's
to see
a really
this.
fascinating
see
article
that.
of how they filmed those fight Valkyrie scenes in
Oh, yeah.
like with the crazy lights, because they basically had to reinvent cameras that moved faster than light.
Nice.
It was really interesting.
My description
There's no
of it to somebody
romance
else.
subplot. Sign me up.
My description of it to somebody else is
There's
just
no
like,
romantic
what if a Frank
subplot?
Frazetta painting was done entirely in neon and cost $200 million and was funny as hell?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah,
movie.
yeah. I mean, that's about right. Like, so the big,
Right here.
the problem I had with it is that it's trying to be this big mythic
Top or bottom?
Top.
fantasy story,
Sure.
but I mean, yeah, sure, but that
Yeah.
like is what it's trying to be.
Yeah.
But it's also got this really sort of like it's got the I can't Taika Waititi style
Waititi,
like
yeah.
slightly awkward offbeat comedy all the way through it, which undermines any gravitas the actual story is going for the whole way through. Which like the movie is super endearing,
Yeah.
like but it feels meaningless.
I
Which
disagree.
you disagree with, but to me it's like I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't
Yeah.
seen it,
Yeah.
but there are like it has like big story implications for the MCU at large.
Yeah.
That's why I
and
love
they
it.
and they feel totally inconsequential to the film.
I'm ready for my rebuttal. My rebuttal is it actually has things that impact the MCU story at large. Some of the movies have no stakes and they feel episodic, and that you can take a movie out and put it anywhere in, and it doesn't actually matter because the storyline doesn't add anything except for like very, very, very little subtleties, like a wink or a nod toward a character or something like that. The only movie I've found in the entire series that actually affects the other characters as much is probably Winter Soldier. Is the only movie I figure that has stakes as high as this. So Guardians of the Galaxy 2, they're like, every living being in the universe is at stakes, and you're like, yawn, I don't care. Because you know at the
That was also Avengers.
you know at the end of those stakes that it's going to get resolved and everything's going to go back to almost exactly as it was before. And at that point, I'm kind of like, why bother? Like, why am I sitting down and watching this if you're not actually going to do anything?
So that's where I disagree with you, because I kind of disagree with how you're defining stakes. Because with the primary MCU movies, it's always about the characters, not about the world, right? Like, you know they're going to save the world. They're superheroes. That's what they do. So the question of Avengers is not like, are they going to stop the aliens? Of course they're going to. It's Kathleen is dabbing.
No,
for
just
a
everybody
reason.
dab quickly because we have a challenge for everybody to dab without Graham knowing. Done.
Okay. So it's not not are they going to stop the aliens? It's like, are they going to come together? That movie is structured around I cannot think of the name of it, but an actual theory of team formation where it essentially takes a 4-act structure of the team coming together, the team conflicting with one another, the team defining roles for each other, and then the team performing. Like, it is forming, storming, norming, performing model of team development made into a film. And so the movie is all about that, not about will the world survive. Avengers 2 is, again, not about are they going to beat Ultron. Of course they're going to beat Ultron, but what are they going to have to give up as a part of the team to do it? And at the end of that movie, the team has fallen apart. They've had to sacrifice their bond to each other in order to save the planet. Through the Captain America movies and the Iron Man movies, we've seen these big character changes to the character of Tony Stark and of Steve, And so like they are not the same people now that they were. They've in fact reversed places with each other. Where at the beginning of Iron Man, Tony is like, I'm the only one who can do this. I have to save the world myself. And by the end of it, he's like, we need oversight. We're out of control. Whereas Steve goes from I'm the America's Boy Scout. I'm part of the army. I am used to following orders. And he transitions entirely to no. I'm the only one that can be trusted to save, to protect the planet. Every person I've worked with has betrayed me, and every organization of oversight has betrayed me. And so the stakes in each of these movies is emotional. It's not about the stories are big and sort of operatic, but the actual core of every film is centered emotionally on the characters themselves and their relationships to each other.
Matt, can I interrupt you? Because I've never thought this deeply about anything except Yuri on Ice.
So
Have you read any fan fiction? It seems like you'd enjoy it.
First of all, I saw you all dab.
were you watching the stream while you're in the washroom?
No, he's standing in engineering.
No, I passed through engineering, yeah. Secondly, this is great. This is really, really good. And also, someone in chat mentioned something that I wanted to bring up. Not to pile on Serge, but the notion that you have to be surprised by the result of a movie.
No, I don't think it's about surprise. I have to care.
Right. Okay.
So one of the greatest examples I saw about this is like the latest Superman movie. And you're like, oh no, everything's going to get destroyed, and this is awful. He's going to save the world. And the reason you don't care is because you're never led, the world isn't a character. And the great example I heard about this is like, imagine if you're watching Lost in Translation.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, Tokyo just exploded. You'd be like, holy crap, what happened? Like, why? Like, they do such a great job of making the city a character and of making what's actually at stake relatable.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
And so often
the latest Superman movie might not be a great example of
No, but that's one of the reasons why I didn't like it. Is what is actually on the line? What is the character trying to overcome? And what happens if they don't succeed? Because they're going to, and you're led to believe that you care. And Matt obviously cares, and that's my reason with a lot of these movies is if I'm not invested in the stakes, if they haven't made me care about it. And full disclosure, I haven't read the comic books, but I've seen every show around it, so I'm invested in this story, but I only know what they've taught me in the movies, and I can't care about subplots or things that are going on that isn't expressed outside of what's in the movie.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm
Tokyo's
gonna
real name is Martha.
counterpoint you a little bit by saying I think we're both right.
Okay.
Which,
A lot of people in chat are saying, I agree with both parts of that.
Yeah,
answer.
I think we're both right. It's what you relate to.
Yeah.
Like, I am really invested in the characters. I know they're going to win. So it's how do they win? That's what is interesting to me.
Because they're Wario.
Well,
And-
also
and-
just
and-
to kind of add,
I'm a Wario.
Sorry,
I'm gonna
just to
win.
finish my thought.
Yeah, sorry.
But going back to Superman, I also have a really hard time caring about what's going on in the DC movies because, for my mind, I'm not invested in those characters at all. That Superman's a jerk.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman is great, but is worthless in Batman versus Superman. She's like the only actor having any fun in that movie, but is just an afterthought in the film, right? Like she's not something you care about. And like Batman, I like Batman in Batman versus Superman in terms of like how he's presented. He moves like Batman. He looks like Batman. He's played like Batman. This is the Batman that I want to see on screen. But the actual character of Batman in that movie bears no resemblance to the character of Batman in the comics. And so they have done nothing to invest me in those characters. They started with deconstruction, and so they never constructed something to tear down, and they never gave me a reason to, it's a bunch of terrible people that are saving the world, and why do I want to watch that?
There was a comment in the chat, which was you and I have to go see Justice League together and come back and talk about it.
Justice League, so Justice
that out
League
this
is my
week?
movie to see this week.
Everything I've read about it.
You should do that.
I'm planning to go see it after the run, after Desert Bus, because we often do a movie after Desert Bus is over while we wait for the weekend. So that is my movie this week.
Okay.
So I'll be seeing it after Desert Bus is over.